Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we'll be looking at Chainlink and its valuations against Bitcoin, as well as the US dollar. Remember, if you do like the video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. Uh, I don't know what else to say with Chainlink. I'm sure a lot of you are extremely frustrated about this token, especially if you were one of the few who bought up here or one of the many. You sure are feeling the pain right now. Currently, if we take it from the top to where we are right now, it's lost 72% of its valuation against Bitcoin. To the wick, it's about 77%, 78%. And those aren't, those aren't kid numbers. Those are pretty big numbers, especially for a token that has done considerably well. We must be aware that Chainlink does has its drops. I mean, here was a 48% drop. Here to here was another around 40% drop. Uh, Here to here was a 27% drop. Here to here, 30. And at the very beginning, it did get a 83% drop. So we are not strangers to the idea that Chainlink will drop and sometimes drop fairly hard. Some things that might be different, and I'll point them out, is we're considerably below the 20-week moving average. In most of Chainlink's life, it has briefly came under, and that's within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. The maximum here, which we'll talk about later, is here, which was roughly 133 days from the breaking of the 20-week to breaking it and not coming back down briefly. That took about 133 days. Right now we're at about 100 days roughly below the 20-week moving average. Sorry, 56 days. I don't know where I got the 100 days from. We're about 56 days from breaking the 20-week and being below it. We're also below this support level here at about 50,500 sats. As you can see, I have drawn these lines where we've shown that the Chainlink always does, when it does retrace, it does tend to come back and hold the support of the previous highs. Here, we do not see that happen. And we're currently broken through. Now, I mean, we can wick down and possibly hold this level up by the end of the week. I would call that extremely unlikely. Um, Chainlink is we're on Saturday. Tomorrow will be the weekly close. This is I think this is pretty much what we're gonna get. Again, unless something incredible happens in the next 24 hours, which again considering the nature of altcoins and what they've been doing the past few months, I find it unlikely. So this is kind of like what we're going to be looking at as the start of the week. It's not looking good. However, I I would attribute this to any altcoin right now. It's not looking good, and because of that, my outlook has not changed. If it was just happening with Chainlink, and these prices, maybe it would be a different story. I'd have different views of Chainlink, but right now, I think we're carrying on as we normally do, and kind of just waiting patiently for that move. One thing I did want to bring about was this one of the first drops that we've had, and it lasted 133 days. We could potentially be underneath the 20-week moving average for quite some time. And as you can see now, we are dipping. The 20-week moving average is dipping down, and we could see in the coming weeks this come down even further. If Chainlink can hold this price or mitigate the losses, the distance between the price and the 20-week moving average would get smaller, which is a good thing. It means that there is a better chance for us to come up and break it, but we can only hope. However, we're at 56 days underneath the 20-week moving average. We could potentially be here longer, uh, potentially even double 50 days, to 100 days. This lasted 133 days. This could very well last just as long. However, we don't know. I would argue, though, it's entirely dependent on the status of Bitcoin right now, as Bitcoin has just been, still on a tear after it's, when we're coming to the end of December, still on a tear, is up about 10% for this week. We had just hit $26,000, and it seems like there's no end in sight for the token for Bitcoin. Uh, but to look on the bright side, we are coming into Q1. We are coming into Q1, and we have seen. I don't know if I still have the drawings up, but we have seen in recent past. Here we go. We have seen during bull markets, especially during bull markets, but a majority of times, uh, altcoins do fairly well in the Q1 of the year, especially during a bull market. We saw 90%, 135%, and 69% increase in 63 days. So we're looking at roughly 2 months of price action here. So coming in from November, I got the end of November from December to the beginning of February. That's kind of the outlook that I have. This could definitely shift down further down to full Q1, so till March, but we'll definitely see. Um, I think when I try to uh, map this out, it was from open to close. So that's why we do see some 63 days, because it pretty much lines up to end of February, these prices sometimes. So we're looking at those ranges right now. And this is kind of like what this is the next step. This is the thing that I'm looking at. Uh, for the question of am I buying more Chainlink? I mean, this is my dilemma right now. Um, I am at the point with my portfolio that this is kind of the portfolio that I'm comfortable with. Um, the lower the price of Chainlink goes, the lower the risk, of course. But there is still inherent risk of that, and it's inherently more than Bitcoin. And right now, you can make the escape the argument that I'm early, that I front run a bunch of stuff. I mean, I front run XRP and look what happened. But I take it as they come. I saw the opportunity of it being below 20-week moving average for Chainlink. I saw that it was a pretty good opportunity to buy at the time, and because of that, my dollar cost averaging of it, I have exhausted the amount of Bitcoin that I'm willing to flow into altcoins. So that is Chainlink, Uniswap, Ethereum, XRP, not Cardano, but Celsius. I have Celsius. I have Monero. These coins. I've exhausted eh, uh, what I'm willing to spend with my Bitcoin, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm not putting any more fiat into my portfolio. Whatever I have in my portfolio, that is what I'm going to roll with for the entire cycle. So that portfolio is definitely going to change. It moves into altcoins, back into Bitcoin, back into altcoins, back into Bitcoin, to overall increase my Bitcoin position. That is the end game for me. And then that Bitcoin position goes into fiat. But I am not putting in any more fiat into uh, my portfolio. And because of that, I have to uh, uh, ask myself how much then. It's not about how much I'm willing to spend with my fiat, it's how much of my Bitcoin position am I willing to sell to buy altcoins. And at this moment right now, I do not want to sell any more of my Bitcoin. I mean, or at least I'm not willing to sell any more of my Bitcoin that will go into altcoins. I am in favor of selling my Bitcoin into fiat or into stable coins, um, to lock in gains of Bitcoin. I think now's the time where I'm looking to lock in some profits. And I just said this in my previous video with Bitcoin, where when it hit $26,000 earlier today, I took profits then. And that went into fiat. That money will not go into altcoins, at least for the time being, until altcoins start showing returns. But at that point, I'm already going to start selling altcoins, and it's going to go back into Bitcoin or into fiat. Depends on what the position of Bitcoin is at the moment. So with that said, I mean, for you, you also have to take a look at your positions. Are you doing it the same way I am? If so, take a look at your Bitcoin position. How big is your Bitcoin position in comparison to your overall portfolio? Is it 30% of your portfolio, 50%, 60%? And then find a way of how much Bitcoin you're willing to sell in order to buy altcoins. Because whichever altcoin it is, whether it's Ethereum, Chainlink, Basic Attention Token, Celsius, Cardano, Litecoin, XR, like Ripple, Monero, there is inherent risk to that. There is more risk in holding altcoins than there is in Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin is at $26,000, when I've been saying that it's a little overextended, that we've been calling for a pullback, even at that moment, you guys, in my opinion, Bitcoin is the safer play, because if Bitcoin corrects, altcoins are going to correct even more. You're going to lose on your Bitcoin position if you hold a majority in altcoins. But there is the potential chance of increasing your return, because altcoins outpace Bitcoin when altcoins start to move. So there's that risk. That's your risk to return. How much are you willing to risk? And at the end of the day, for me, even at these prices for Chainlink, I'd love to buy, but I'm handcuffed by my portfolio right now, and unless that changes, unless Chainlink really comes down, um, then we'll see. I must say that the recent moves of Ripple has really put a damper on my portfolio. Even though XRP was 5% of my portfolio, wasn't that much, but it did lose 50% in a few days, which is never nice. And although I'm willing to see that 5% go to zero, a part of me is thinking, well, that 5% could have bought into Chainlink at these prices. It could have stayed into Bitcoin. There's plethora of possibilities that I could use with that 5%. However, that 5% is going to stay in Ripple, and I'm just going to let that ride. But because of that, because of my recent trades, I'm simply handcuffed on the desire of keeping my portfolio relatively safe and relatively maximum Bitcoin. I don't want to hold all in Bitcoin, because I do want to realize altcoin moves, but at the same time, I don't want all my portfolio to be altcoins and risk it bleed more than it should. Anyway, that's kind of my outlook on Chainlink. These are very good prices, but at the moment for me, uh, I'm simply handcuffed by my position, by my portfolio, and you could be as well. And at that point, for me at least, it's seeing where this takes us. I'm willing to see this, within 133 days. I'm willing to hold Chainlink. I've already set my, I've calculated my potential ROI of my sell points, so I'm ready for Chainlink to move. It's just waiting patiently, and when it does move, be ready to sell. And I'm not saying that because I'm bearish on the token. I just want to lock in profits as quickly as I can with my altcoin positions, because um, that's just who I am. And it's the same thing with Bitcoin, right? As soon as it hit $26,000 within a week, I'm okay to sell. And Bitcoin can very well go to $28,000 at this rate. It can go even higher, but I'm okay with this, and you have to be too. If you're not, then you could potentially start buying back into to altcoin positions to try to ride it up, or buy into Bitcoin positions and try to ride it up, and you might get burned. And the likelihood of that happening is a lot higher than you might think. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.